Here is Danny, and today, the Battlefield 2042 beta. What do you all think? Yeah, I think the same too. But one big thing I really don't like are the specialists. I hated them at the announcement, and I hate them even more now we can actually play them. Soldiers look the same on both teams, which is awful. Sure, more cosmetics can solve the visual part of them not all being clones, but it doesn't change the fact that both your teammates and the enemy can choose from the same outfits. So for the gameplay implications that doesn't matter a single bit. And what are those gameplay implications, you might ask? Well, it is a bitch to see who is a teammate and who isn't. And sure, there are small little blips above the teammates, but in the chaos and the color palette of the game, you don't always see them. It also shows up late from time to time, or because an enemy is in front of a teammate, it looks like he is a teammate instead. Luckily, friendly fire isn't on, because oh boy, I have been shot by a lot of teammates who thought I was a dirty enemy. And I might shot some teammates too. So, how to fix it? Boy. Well, there's currently 10 specialists confirmed for the game, but with more coming. So, let's split them up into 2 factions. And yes, this does mean there are more than 4 classes, because math. Lore-wise, this can still work without problems. That's why a French lady fights for Russia and a German grandma fights for the US. The upcoming list is based on the character's bio and existing equipment. Also, it doesn't stop DICE from creating new soldiers and their outfits, but it will absolutely benefit gameplay, and that is the most important in my opinion. This will not only help with knowing what team a player is on, but also what class the player is using and what to expect from it. When I'm in a tank, I can prioritize engineers over medics, since a medic generally can't take me out. And yes, I'm going back to the classic Battlefield style of classes. No snipers for medics and no assault rifles for scouts. But who is who and what do they run in this hypothetical class system for Battlefield 2042? Boris, he's obviously the Russian engineer, and Irish is for the US. They will have access to the turret, the rockets like the M5 recoilless and the Stinger, the repair tool, AT mines, and they will have access to the DMRs and SMGs. The class is meant for big maps with tanks on them, so give them DMRs, but also SMGs, since they tend to be closer to friendly tanks and need something to defend themselves. I would have given them carbines if they were in the game. Volk, she is obviously the US medic, and Angel is the Russian medic. They will have a faster revive, considering squad revives are still a thing, a medkit, a stim pistol, other medical stuff that might come, and assault rifles and SMGs. Medics are often on the front lines, so they need some good and versatile guns. So assault rifles and SMGs are the perfect guns for the class. Then we go to the movement based characters, the assault. We got McKay, the US assault, and Candence, the Russian assault. They both share the wingsuit. However, McKay does need something changed to his model in order to get the wingsuit working, even if it is just something under his arms when the wingsuit is enabled. Will it look a bit stupid? Maybe. But is it more stupid than McKay stabbing McKay while McKay runs away? Absolutely not. Also the option for the grappling hook, a respawn beacon, since I don't want to give to the scout, but someone who actually pushes forward to an objective. And who is better at that than the 2 movement based characters? They will run ARs and SMGs, the same reasoning as the medic. They're the in the action classes, so they need the best close quarter combat or versatile guns. And then it is the big pew pew guys. Rao is the US support. Not sure about this one, to be honest. I could put Irish in there too and Angel as engineer, but then there is no Russian medic. But we do have Dozer, the Russian support. Just look at that guy, absolute unit. They got shield and cover, the ammo box, C5 and armor plates, sadly. I'd rather not have those in the game at all. And as the weapons, we got the LMGs and shotguns. They're the heavy weapon guy, so they get the heavy weapon gun. Just imagine that with a Russian accent. and for the players who rather sit 500 meters away from the action. The list is pretty simple though. We got Casper for the US Scout and Pike, the Russian Scout. She is the Korean lady from one of the screenshots. They get a drone, more spotting stuff, a SOFLAM, proximity sensors and other spotting tools that might come. They will of course run both actions and DMRs, so they can pew 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 from far away. So that is all classes and equipment done. More might come, but they aren't leaked by Temporal or are given out in pre-release marketing. However, there is still one thing that is missing, the perks. Like Pike has a perk, for example, that spots players that she hits, a bit like the Battlefield 5 with the Recon perk. So turn them into selectable perks, just like we had in every game since Bad Company, and let us select 2 from the list of Recon perks, for example, like Customer's Movement Sensor or Pike's Acquisition and EMG Scanner perk. Some might look a bit funky, like Dozer's Arm Shield, but I'm sure it can be fixed somehow. For post-launch, this does mean that every season 2 soldiers per class have to be released instead of 1, in order not to make one team more powerful, which I get is a bit of a problem. But feel free to add a Battlefield 3 soldier as a counterpart for the released operator. But yeah, what do you think and what would you change in this theoretical concept? Let me know in the comments. And I totally get this won't be possible overnight and the game will release with specialists, sadly. But a post-launch overhaul after 6 months while repurposing a lot of Portal code? That's maybe possible, please? But hey, that is all I got for now. Subscribe for more. This was Danny and I see you on the battlefield.